Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Nandana Brajajana Ranjano Jasoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjano Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Bonachari Jamunatira Bonachari Tiravanajari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Vallabha Girivardhari Jashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjano Nandana Brajajana Ranjano Jashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjano Nandana Brajajana Ranjano Jashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjano Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Ho Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Sri Radha Madhava ki Sri Radha Giridhari ki Go Premanande Jayo Vishnu Paramhamsa Parivrajika Jaja Sri Srimad Divine Grace of Jarana Ravinda Bhakti Jayo Vishnu Paramhamsa Parivrajika Jaja Shuddha Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Saranda Saraswati Gosa Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Goti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantara srimadbhagavatam Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakti Ki Jai Gaura Premanande All glories to the sum of the devotees All glories to the sum of the devotees, all glories, sum of the devotees, all glories, Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. If you happen to have a smartphone or a smart tablet or a smart this or that, today's verse is on your device. 27. Verse 27, 17th chapter, 4th canto. 28 Oh, really? Okay. Well, I was going to do, he gave me 27. I was going to do 27 and 28. No, I sit corrected. Whatever. I will, whatever verse you like, Prabhu. You just tell me. I'll go back to 111 if you like. Well, I'm less than a peon, so you can give me instruction if you like. So, 4th canto, 17th chapter. We'll do 27 and 28 because they both deal with anger. Anyone here to go to anger management classes? Anyone think they need to go? You've been to anger management classes. How, did it work? Did it work? Okay. So you'll have to tell us about that. And I didn't have time to study yesterday, so you can get angry at me if you like. It's a busy day, finishing up with a program last night at the Seaside Center for Spiritual Living in Encinitas. Like that. Did a program with Deep Dioja. You know Damodar, remember Damodar? The Nepali devotee. He was a good friend of his, Deep Dioja. He's a very nice devotee, actually. Yeah, every year he calls me to do a program with him. He does a whole meditation there with Buddhist sounds and like that. So we do a Shanti Homa for about 60, 70 people. And anyway, so you can get angry at me for not studying, but since it's a class about anger, that's okay. So, srimadbhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritam namandraiva narotamam devyam saraswatim vyasam tadojam udirayat. Excuse me. Maybe that will help a little bit. So this is the verse. Tvam sabdham durmadam nitva mayagam tilasasharai atma yoga balini ma darashishyam yaham prajah tvam stabdham durmadam nitva mayagam tilasha sharai atma yoga balini ma darasyisyam yaham prajah tvam stabdham durmadham nitva mayagam tilasha sharai atma yoga balini ma darasyisyam yaham prajah. Anyone like to chant? Dam durmadam nitva mayagam tilasharai atma yoga balini ma darasyisyam yaham prajah tvam stabdham durmadam nitva mayagam tilasharai atma yoga balini ma darasyisyam yaham prajah Tam stabdham durmadam nitva mayagam tilasharai atma yoga balini ma darasyisyam yaham prajah. Ladies. Tvam stabdham durmadam nitva mayagam tilasharai Atma Yoga Balini Ma. Dadasisyam Yaham Braja. Tvam Sabdham Durma Ditva. Mayagam Tilasa Sharai. Atma Yoga Balini Ma. Dharishyam Yaham Braja. Tvam Stabdham Durmadim Nitva. Mayagam Tilashat Sharai. Atma Yoga Balini Ma. Dharishyam Yaham Braja. Synonyms. Tvam, you. Stabdham, very much puffed up. So that's a Sanskrit word there. If you get angry at a devotee and you go, you're really puffed up. You go, stabdham. That's it. What are you talking about? So now you know a little Sanskrit, what do you call it? Just like a lot of times people learn foreign languages, the first thing you learn are all the rude words. So I guess Okay, there you go. So remember that. Stabdham. If you remember anything from this class, remember this one word. So up in the ashram here, I'm going, stabdham, stabdham. You're puffed up. No, you're puffed up. So like that. Durmadam. Mad. Okay, you can add that one also if you like. Nitva. Bringing into such a condition. Mayagam. False cow. Tilasha. Into small particles like grains. Sharai, by my arrows. Atma, personal. Yoga Balena, by mystic power. Imaha, all these. Dara Yishyami, shall uphold. Aham, I. Prajaha, all the citizens or all the living entities. Translation, purport by Srila Prabhupada. So this is Prithu Maharaj speaking to Bhumi, Mother Earth. You are very much puffed up with pride and have become almost insane. Presently you have assumed the form of a cow by your mystic powers. Nevertheless, I shall cut you into small pieces like grain, and I will uphold the entire population by my personal mystic powers. You like that? Yeah. Okay. Make a t-shirt with that on it if you like. Purport. The earth informed King Prithu that if he destroyed her, he and his subjects would all fall down into the waters of the Garbha ocean. King Prithu now replies to that point. Although the earth assumed the shape of a cow by her mystic powers in order to be saved from being killed by the king was aware of this fact and would not hesitate to cut her to pieces, just like small bits of grain. As far as the destruction of the citizens is concerned, Maharaj Prithu maintained that he could uphold everyone by his own mystic powers. He did not need the help of the earthly planet. Being the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Prithu Maharaj possessed the power of Shankarshan, which is explained by scientists as the power of gravitation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is holding millions of planets in space without any support. Similarly, Prithu Maharaj would not have had any difficulty supporting all his citizens and himself in space without the help of the planet Earth. The Lord is known as Yogeshwara, master of all mystic powers. Consequently, the planet Earth was informed by the king that she need not worry about his standing without her help. So let's read text 28. Who gives class tomorrow? That's right, Balaram Purniam, so the next verse. Well, maybe we'll speak for a little while, and then if need be, we'll go on to this. So, Oma Gyantimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksulan Minitam Dena Daismai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So with your blessings and good wishes, I'll try to say something. Translation. You are very much puffed up with pride and have become almost insane. Presently you have assumed the form of a cow by your mystic powers. Nevertheless, I shall cut you into small pieces like grain, and I will uphold the entire population by my personal mystic powers. So there's a few things here we can discuss first. So, of course, I would talk, I guess tomorrow, or the next verse about anger, let's talk a little bit about pride, right? Because it says here, what is the word you're going to learn in the ashram? Stabdham, right? Stabdham. You're puffed up, okay? You're very much puffed up. So when someone becomes very much puffed up, then the next word here is durmadam, become almost insane. That's what he's saying. So this false pride or false ego, false pride, one becomes almost mad. Even there in the Bhagavad Gita, was that Bhogaishvara prasaktanam taya prita chetasam, that one becomes too attached to Bhoga and Aishvarya, enjoying in material opulence, taya prita chetasam, one's conscience becomes stolen, bewildered, just gone. You just, what they say? You lose it, right? That's the expression, you lose it, like that. Your equilibrium, your ability to see what is what and who's who and to do what's right. It becomes lost. And there's that progression or digression in the Bhagavad Gita. How does it start? One becomes jayato vishaya pumsa. You meditate on the objects of the senses, then you desire to enjoy them, and then you don't get them, then you become angry, and then gradually one loses one's intelligence, and everything, one falls into the material pool, but everything becomes lost. There's a digression there. The consciousness, actually in the second chapter, Krishna says also, gives the example, just like a boat in the water, if it's not moored properly or anchored properly and the wind comes, it just blows it away. Just blows it away. Carried away by the wind. It fills the sails and just blows it away. Where's it going? I don't know. Just gone. The wind just took it away. Like that. I grew up in a little, seaside town south of Boston. I didn't grow up there. The last few years before I became a devotee. It's a place called the Irish Riviera, because so many Irish people lived there from the immigrant days and so on. But so we used to sail a bit, in our days as a child, as a teenager and so on. And that's true. The wind comes, it just takes your boat away, like that, just gone. So, and there's storms come through, and then you have to go down to the harbor, as they used to say, go down to the harbor, right? And see what damage, our boat also is called La Paz. You know what La Paz means in Spanish? La Paz, peace. And, but my father wasn't very peaceful because it cost so much money to maintain that boat. But I remember one hurricane came and it broke away from its mooring. You know what a mooring is? Where they attach it. It broke away and the boat was up on the shore somewhere with all these holes in it. It was a fiberglass, day sail and stuff like that. It's all this money and everything. But the wind just picked it up. The wind was so strong, so many, not just ours, but so many of the boats, it just snapped the mooring. Strong rope to the mooring, but snapped it anyways and just blew it off onto the shore and onto the rocks, like that. So what's being described here is that one becomes very, very puffed up, one becomes mad, does crazy things. Just like here, and there are many places like this in the Bhagavatam, she disguises herself as a false cow. Right? False cow. In other words, I'll disguise myself as a cow. And, in Vedic culture, you can't kill a cow. So she figured this way Maharaj Prithu wouldn't hurt her. But as a disguise, she was still doing her... anyway, she's very upset with what she was doing. And even, I guess, a previous verse, she must have said, I will not support you and these citizens anymore. And if I don't, you will fall into the ocean. And now he's coming back and saying that's not going to happen. because yoga balena, by mystic power. Krishna is known as Yogeshwara, which means the master of all mystic powers. And even the mystic power of Mother Earth or any living entity. In fact, so many living entities have mystic powers. You ever notice that? If you don't like the class, can you get up and fly out the door? No. Can you just get up and fly out the door? No, but there's so many living entities who can fly. From birds to these little bugs. They just go, they just fly around. They just fly away. Isn't that amazing? They can even walk on water, they can fly, they can do all kinds of far out things. And these are all powers, the little mystic powers they have, you could say. They're empowered by the Lord to do some amazing, amazing things. Living entities they can see at night and this and that and so many different. And the demigods, they have so many mystic powers. And mystic yogis have mystic powers. That's what they're called, mystic yogis. They have their 8 perfections. Very fun. And I was listening, Prabhupada was saying about the yogis, they travel on the rays of the sunshine. Hey, where are you going today? Oh, let's just see. They just travel on the ray, because the rays of the sunshine go throughout the whole universe. And just like that's the express lane. Just. And how fast are those rays traveling? What's the speed of light? There you go. And they just hop on. Like that. No rush hour traffic, nothing. Just get on the rays. What a power. And that's available to all living entities that develop these mystic powers. But Krishna is known as Yogeshwara, so even though we may be very proud, and that's what's happening here. You're puffed up. You're very, very proud. Mother Earth is saying all these things. But Maharaj Prithu, as the Shaktavash avatar, is reminding her that whatever mystic power you have that's coming from me, and it's insignificant in relation to my abilities, because I can actually destroy you in a moment, Shanai, with my arrows, and I can uphold all the living entities because I'm doing that already. Who's upholding or maintaining all living entities? Right? Nityo nityanam chaitanas chaitananam eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. Sometimes, but what's the difference between us and God? We're both conscious, right? We're both eternal, but eko, that personality alone, eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. He's maintaining all living entities, taking care of everyone, everything. And our ability to take care of ourselves, or one person, or 10 people, or 1,000,000 people, that's all coming from Krishna. That's all coming from Krishna. So Maharaj Prithu is setting that straight. And devotees have to have firm faith that in the fact that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is our maintainer. And we don't have to worry about other personalities, because ultimately Krishna is maintaining us. Now there's one pastime, since we live here in New Govardhan, which Krishna brought this to the forefront for the devotee's mind, the pastime of the Govardhan Leela in Indra. Same exact thing. When they had their conversation afterwards, Krishna says to Indra, you really got puffed up there. You're really puffed up, because he was thinking, I'm Indra. They stopped my sacrifice. They have no right to do that. And but he was so puffed up, he became, what's the word here? The second word you have to learn in the ashram? Durmadam. Durmadam. He became mad. He actually wanted to kill. Now you can get upset with someone, just like Ramapati Prabhu told me. Because I asked him once, I noticed in India, people get loud. You know, it's Indians talking to each other, right in each other's face, and they get loud. You know, like that. And he said, yeah, they get loud, but they don't touch. They don't usually touch each other. They get loud. And you get really loud, and whoever gets louder, the loudest, wins. So that's why it just escalates. You see, they just go off. And they're like, real close. They won't touch each other, but really loud. Like that. Just, you know, they just lose it. They just get really loud, start screaming like that. So the point is that you can get upset, but then when it goes a little too far, then there's physical violence and things like that. People lash out, do all kinds of things. That's what we're having today. We see in the news all these shootings that people become angry, they say. They have anger issues, they have frustration issues, and what do? They go mad, and they do something completely insane like that. So that's the difficulty. So Indra, he get upset. Oh, the residents of Vrindavan, it's just one village. But the acharyas say he was very, very attached to something of that puja every year. He's really, really attached to something. You know what it was? A certain milk sweet that Mother Yashoda, they would make because the cow's milk was so good. He was so attached to that. He was thinking, I'm not going to get that milk sweet this year. So he flipped out. Sometimes you see devotees do that too. They don't get their samosa or their kachori or their... They get what? Kheer. Like that. They get withdrawal symptoms. They flip out. They get angry. They start scared. Kheer, right? So, I mean, on one hand, you could say it's a transcendental qualification, but went a little too far. But that's one of the reasons the acharyas say he was so upset. He was so attached to the delicious milk sweets that came from Vrindavan. But one could say it was just one village. To then just say, I'm going to kill everyone? What happened? Durmadam became mad. And in that pastime, Krishna at one moment said, you know something? I think I'm just going to wipe out Indra and the heavenly planets. Just for 1 second. Krishna said, I could do that, but I'm not going to. So let's just take care of it in this way. And he lifted Govardhan Hill, and the whole pastime was there. And there's even one commentary where Krishna says that actually he orchestrated the whole Govardhan Leela just to teach Indra not to be proud. He doesn't like his devotees to be proud. Like that whole thing was just to teach Indra a lesson. Like that, to calm him down and make him humble again. Because when we become proud, we can't think straight. Everything becomes distorted, out of focus. And not only that, not just that, but it can be so much out of focus, we start offending others. Like that. And that's what's going on here. There's some offending going on in Krishna. So, that's one of the big lessons in this particular purport and verse. And the other one, of course, is the fact that Krishna wanted to let all his devotees know, because they were saying, well, you know, we should do the Indra Yajna. Indra is actually in control and this and that. He said, no, don't worry about it. You just worship Govardhan Hill and the Brahmins. And even though Indra started to retaliate, Krishna wanted to show, don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything. And Indra became the business of the end of his little pinky. He just lifted Govardhan Hill and took care of everyone. So where is Krishna getting his mystic potency? Where are you getting your potency? You think you're so powerful. Where did it come from? What is that? Mushika? Bhava. Punar. Again, Punar, Mushika Bhava. Again, become a mouse. You got to be very careful, because whatever abilities we have, they're all coming from Krishna. And Krishna can give them, and Krishna can take them away in a moment. You ever sit down to give a class from Ramapati and then you just can't figure out what you're going to say? Does that ever happen? You're not going to take that. You give class day after tomorrow. Don't take that from him. You get up here and give class like that. So Krishna can, and also at one moment, Krishna can inspire you to say the most wonderful things if he wants to. Just inspire you to say the right thing to the right person and enliven them in their Krishna consciousness. Or Krishna can make it that, I don't know what I'm supposed to say here. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. And that not just our words, but our abilities. What is that? Parisham Nishu. Krishna says, I am the ability in man. Whatever abilities are there, they're coming from Krishna. So Mother Earth and the Dharmasetu comes to her senses, obviously. I mean, and apologizes and sets things straight. But, I guess the next verse will be about anger, and when anger is appropriate to manifest, and what are the guidelines and so on. And maybe some discussion about when it's not appropriate, because it's very contaminating. In fact, it's interesting. There, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, there are 3 gates to hell. Now, I thought there were a lot more than that. I thought there were like a lot of gates to hell. But somehow he says only 3. So if you had to pick, what are the names of those 3 gates? But Krishna says there's 3 gates to hell. Kam, Krodh, Lobha. You can tell, you see the gates and they have it written in Sanskrit over each one. Kam, krodh, lobha. It's like those game shows. What do you want? Door number 1, door number 2, number 3. Pick your gate. Like that. So what does that mean, gates to hell? It means the destruction of our life. Like that. And it could also mean a hellish birth, whatever, however you want to, it can go as far as you like. But lust, anger, and greed. So anger is one of them. It's so devastating to one's Krishna consciousness, to just our humanity, like that. So one has to be very, very careful. Anger. Sometimes I do this. I analyze. Sometimes people talk about books or movies or this or that or whatever, but it's all these 3 things. You just analyze. It's a story about lust, anger, and greed. That's all it is. Mundane topics. It's lust, anger, and greed. There's no other element. Just like Burfi. It's milk, cream, and sugar. That's it. Burfi is always milk, cream, and sugar, right? So material life is kam, krodh, lobh. That's it. It's a story about people who became absorbed to varying degrees in kam, krodh, lobh. That's all it is. Now, maybe a little bit, and maybe a lot, and the mixture of the personalities, and it's this story and that story, and it's very exotic, but it's also kam, krodh, lobh. These things, and they keep one in the mundane consciousness, and it's a slippery slope, because these things can increase and increase and increase to the point where one becomes, what's the word? Durmadam, mad. Like that. So, 8:27. We're supposed to end at 8:35 after all questions and answers and everything correct. So, let me read the verse again. Speaking to Mother Earth, you are very much puffed up with pride. Another thing is, Bhumi is actually a wonderful personality. So, and Indra also. So the point is that even a person in good standing, a so-called good person, or a devata, a saintly person, can sometimes be affected by the lower modes of material nature. So that's a lesson also. In fact, Prabhupada said that's the main lesson when we hear stories, not the stories, but the histories, the accounts of Lord Brahma having his difficulties, or Lord Shiva having his difficulties. Or you hear the story of any great devotee having some difficulty, what's the lesson? The lesson is, if it can happen to them, and they're very exalted, much more exalted than I better be very careful. That's the lesson. Not like, oh, look what happened to him. Like that. That shouldn't be the thought. The thought is, oh my goodness, if it could happen to someone who's that advanced, I better be very, very, very careful. Just see how strong the material nature is. That's the lesson from those stories. So you are very much puffed up with pride and have become almost insane. Presently you have assumed the form of a cow by your mystic powers. Nonetheless, I shall cut you into small pieces like grain, and I will uphold the entire population by my personal mystic powers. So another lesson that could be drawn from this verse and purport is the position of the king, or who is in charge. Sometimes they have to use their strength. In fact, that's one of the qualities of a Kshatriya, Ishwara Bhav. He's a controller, and he knows how to take care of everything. A leader, and very resourceful, and sometimes they have to put their foot down. You know that expression? Do you have that expression in India, put your foot down? Is that expression in India too? You put your foot down, means like, this is what's going to happen. You exert your authority. Put your foot down. Like that. Well, you could put your bare foot down too. Okay, a boot. Boom, like that. So when you have your chapal on, that's when you put your foot down. So you have to be able to do that. And there has to be someone like that around. You always have to have a leader. Someone's got to put their foot down, because sooner or later something is not going to be right. We take advantage. Because basic human nature is what? Begins with an L. And an A. And a Z. All right, lazy. We're lazy. We're always looking for shortcuts. So someone's got to put us back on track. And that means sometimes you have to be a little bit heavy. Our tendency to make mistakes, to be lazy, to cut corners. maybe to offend others. In other words, not to do what's not the best thing to do in our interest and the interest of others. So someone's got to watch out for that. So, any questions or comments on this verse? I'm sure I didn't cover all that needs to be covered. Yes.
So we now have a phenomenon, can be called climate change, global warming, whatever, where the earth is seemingly acting up and creating all kinds of problems. So is this the solution? We need to try to find someone who can threaten her so that she'll behave? Or is she just reacting to what we're doing? Actually, this is what the earth did, because there were so many sins to Vena, this was her reaction.
Well, so I would answer in this way. We all hear over and over and over again, in the age of Kali, the solution is always the distribution of the Lord's holy name and Sankirtan Yajna. You know, where are we going to find such a personality as Maharaj Prithu, who is a Saktavesh avatar, who could handle a situation like this in his particular way? I don't think Trump can do it. I don't think Putin can do it. I don't know, even a Devata, some other Devata could do it. Yeah. So powerful. But what's more powerful than the holy names? So the spreading of the Sankirtan movement can actually change all of that. And that's Krishna intervening in his Yuga avatar as the holy name. It's the recommended process in Kali Yuga. It's the medicine, it's the only thing we have. And it's no less powerful. It's no less powerful. So that's what I would say.
Our solution to climate change is Harinam Sankirtan.
Harinam Sankirtan, and changing the consciousness of all the people who are contributing to the mess.
Yeah.
Like that, because they've gone mad. They've gone mad. Like that. Sometimes it's amazing what people will do. There's a story that was told just about people and their environment. It's about a tribe. I think it was in South America somewhere. There's a tribe living there, and they have very, very high, probably still to this day, because I'll tell you how the story ends, a very high level of infant mortality. And people dying all the time, but especially infant mortality. So there were some Western doctors there, from I don't know where, and so on, and they befriended them, and they were doing their, sociology, social anthropology, this, that, and the other thing. And they found out what the problem was. The problem was this particular insect living in the clay or the mud that they made their huts out of, only indigenous to that particular area along the Amazon or wherever it was. So what's the advice? Move. If you simply move maybe 10 miles or 15 miles or 20 miles or whatever, even 50 miles this way, the bugs aren't there. But you know what the answer was? They're not going to move. They just can't move. What's that? It's just like, that's insane. And so they're still there, and they're still dying, high mortality rate, and it's because of that little bug. But they just wouldn't move. Somehow or other, they said, what's going on here? They wouldn't move. What's that all about? But attachment and very, very attached. And you can, but you could say it's a type of madness. It's a type of madness. So people were all living in a type of madness, but the holy name can change all of that. We were all crazy. I'm not going to say we're not crazy now. I'm still crazy. I was going to say we're. We were crazier than we are now, and madder and foolish, but the chanting of the holy names, that's gradually reducing. So much so things are coming into focus. Any other questions or comments? Yes. Pray for you, what'd you say?
Breakfast will not be ready for quite a while. That's Zach's comment.
I know. Well, we have japa time and so on. If there are any questions or comments. Okay. Karma Ocean. Pritu. So especially the next verse, because I was going to do about the 28, really, it's a very, very deep subject, because that's when he starts Says he becomes exactly like Yamaraj. So you can bring it all out. Okay, so just so you can, there's a lot to be said here. This one, anger personified, became like Yamaraj, all devouring death, Nrsingadev. So there's a lot there. This is an important thing to be discussed, because as we said, there's three things, three biggies we have to work on. Kam, Krodh, Lobha. Krishna signaled these out. I mean, you're in the 16th chapter of the Gita, Krishna goes through a whole long list of all kinds of demoniac or destructive qualities, but he's saying these three, these are the biggies. All-consuming. Kam, Krodh, Lobha. So it's a warning to all of us. These are the biggies that are going to just keep us from becoming Krishna conscious. So we got to understand them. Yes, that will be brought up in the class on Thursday, how you can use those in the Lord's service, but not abuse them in the Lord's service. Use them in the Lord's service. So we can end here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, srimadbhagavatam ki jai, Sri Juryan Ratra ki jai.